Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a perfect performance. Now, there aren't many perfect performances. I mean perfect performances, especially in the field of orchestral music, where there's so much going on and a lot that can be just a little bit off. And most of the time, if we're carried along, buoyed along by the emotional enthusiasm and rush of a great interpretation, we are more than willing to overlook minor blemishes and imperfections, because life is full of minor blemishes and imperfection. I mean, my whole life is a blemish and an imperfection. That's just the way things are, right? And we have to be a little bit indulgent and tolerant and all that. But every so often, something comes along that is absolutely just perfect. I mean, everything is the way it's supposed to be. And it's recorded perfectly, and it's played perfectly, and it's conducted perfectly. And you just sit back and go, oh, yes. There is somewhere out there, there is always the possibility of everything just going right and being completely, totally, yes, the way it's supposed to be. And it doesn't matter if that thing is a big thing or a little tiny thing or an important thing or a trivial thing. You admire it for its perfection, for it just getting every detail exactly the way it should sound. Now, I have an example, and I'm going to play you the whole thing, all 3.5 minutes of total, utter perfection. Actually, it's a pretty perfect disc, frankly. And it's this disc. It's Rimsky-Korsakov Suites featuring the Seattle Symphony and Gerard Schwarz. Now, everybody, me, God knows, raves about that fabulous Chandos disc of Nimi Järvi doing this music with Scottish National Orchestra, and it is amazing, and it's stunningly recorded, but this is no less wonderful. Not a bit. I'm not kidding. You get the Snow Maiden Sadko, which is, that wonderful symphonic poem thing, musical picture, and you get the suite from Mlada and the suite from the Coq d'Or. And they are as fantastically well done as Järvi's. They're even a bit more disciplined. Järvi has, I think, a wider amplitude, and, Järvi's very enthusiastic and visceral, but so is Schwarz. And Schwarz has, on this disc, in one movement, the dance of the Tumblers, or the dance of the clowns, or the dance of the buffoons, whatever you want to call them, the dance of those critters, from the Snow Maiden, the last movement in the Snow Maiden, a performance of such perfection, such elegance, such point, such rightness in everything it does, that I just have to play it for you. I mean, the whole thing. I just have to play it for you. I love these pieces. I know we've talked about them a lot. I just adore Rimsky-Korsakov's opera suites and other famous orchestral music, because it's also beautifully, beautifully written. And so it's written in such a way that if you play it perfectly, it sounds like the greatest music in the world. It really does. I mean, but you have to play it perfectly, because he wrote with that kind of obsessive compulsive clarity, and his orchestration was so clean and fresh and bright, and these brightly painted primary colors, just phenomenal. So it works no matter what. It works in a slovenly performance. It works in all kinds of different performances, but if you do it perfectly, there is something special. So I am going to play you the entire Dance of the Buffoons, or the Dance of the Clowns, from the Snow Maiden Suite featuring the Seattle Symphony and Gerard Schwarz on Naxos. And pay attention. Pay attention to a couple of things. Pay attention to the strings. Pay attention to the wonderful way that they hit the rhythms in their accompanying passages with much more vigor and point than in almost any other performance. Really just they really go for it. Listen to how the timpani are beautifully balanced. Listen to how the woodwinds have wonderful character. The clarinet turns, it's just phenomenal. Listen to the tambourine player, who deserves a medal. and the way that Rimsky-Korsakov's percussion parts are balanced against the brass and the rest of the orchestra. A lot of performances tend to let them be just loud, but Rimsky-Korsakov is very, very careful. Quite often, if you look at the score to this piece, you'll see that the whole orchestra is marked fortissimo, but bass drum and cymbals are only forte, because they're marking the rhythm. They're adding color, but they're not supposed to dominate. And when they do dominate, yes, they dominate. Listen to the low brass. It's so well done. And then finally, when the big tune comes, with the offbeat cymbals and bass drums, how clear and crisp the whole thing is. It doesn't have to be so fast if the playing has rhythm and rhythmic point. The strings, it's just amazing. It's amazing. I listened to like 50 versions of this, and nothing sounds like this one does. So here it is, friends, the Dance of the Clowns from the Snow Maiden in a perfect performance. See what I mean? Hear what I mean. Astounding, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. And I'm so happy that Naxos gave me permission to use musical examples without getting sued for copyright infringement. Goodness gracious, this is a great performance. It really is. In fact, like I said, the whole disc is wonderful. It's hard to find now. I noticed on Naxos I don't see it, but you can get it. It's out there. It's possible, and you can download it very easily because I have it on my iPhone. That's where I was listening to it. I was just sleepily coming back from work in New York City, and I plonked this on, and the dance of the critters came on, and I just went, ah! I mean, it just snapped me back to consciousness. It was so perfect. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and if you have a perfect performance, let me know what you think it is. Take care.